Well, it was in my childhood days. Oh Lord, many long years ago.
Mr. Brown, on behalf of the Glenwood Working Partnership, the Historical Committee, I'd like to thank you for allowing us to come into your home today.
My name is James E. Brown. I was born in Vernon, Florida
Okay.
in 1925.
All right.
And growing up, well, as far as I can remember back when I was about 5 years old, it was back in the 30s, during Hoover time, we call it. We lived at the Hicks Pond. The Massalinas lived at the Blue Pond. And the Chestnut lived at the Bait Pond.
Okay.
Most all of us lived on pond back there. And time was tough. We didn't have, just about everybody, if anything moved in their pond, we ate it. Because we didn't have food.
Okay.
And back then they had anything, said my daddy, if he went hunting, if he had 5 shells, he would bring 5 something to eat back. He didn't throw away any.
Okay.
Like, wasn't nothing done for smoke. Everything was done to live.
So your family really lived off the land.
That's right.
For a while.
Well, no, my granddaddy, we lived a little piece further down.
Mm-hmm.
But could nobody farm out there on the sand hills, because out way around them ponds wasn't nothing but sand.
Mm-hmm.
They farmed in a place they called the valley. My granddad had 1 horse, and wasn't no cars. And they would take that 1 horse and go to the valley, which is around 6 or 7 miles, and grow the food.
Mm-hmm.
But my granddad had plenty of hogs and cows. And as far as I can remember, he used to kill hogs and cows and put them in a big, what we used to call smokehouse. And they would smoke that meat, because there wasn't any ice or anything, until it cured.
Okay.
And we would do that. My grandmother, it used to be a weed they called poke sack. My grandmother would go get a lot of poke sack with all the family living in that area, because it was a bad time. My granddad had went to Mississippi and everywhere and got all the children and brought them home. Mm-hmm. And when my grandmother would stay and take care of the children, well, she would cook, but in the woods, she would cook what they call poke salad. Mm-hmm. So, well, anyway, that's the way we came up. And
how many brothers and sisters did you have?
8.
You had 8 brothers and sisters?
No, it was 8 of us.
Okay.
I had 2 brothers and 5 sisters.
Are they still living today, all of
No,
them?
everybody but one.
Everybody but one.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the highest grade that you completed?
Well, I left school at the 5th grade. Mm-hmm. But I went to Rosenwald. You ever heard of a teacher they called Battle?
Yes.
Well, Battle was the teacher. Mm-hmm. I went to Rosenwald and finished the 8th grade.
Okay.
On the GI Bill.
Very good.
Yeah.
What was your wife's name?
Lula Mae.
Lula Mae.
Yeah.
And how many children do you have?
12.
You have 12 children?
Yeah.
Can you tell me?
3 sets of twins.
3 sets of twins?
In a row.
Wow.
Oh.
That was kind of unusual, right?
Well, later on, about, I'd say 10 or 15 years ago, mm-hmm. they showed a lady had 3 sets of twins. And they was giving her, because they said the chances of having 3 sets of twins was so, great. Mm-hmm. Well, they was giving her this and everything, and bed for the kid and everything. And my oldest daughter asked me, says, Daddy, said, what did they give you? Well, they call her Muddy. Said, what they give you and Muddy when y'all had this? I said, another job. They didn't give us anything.
How many grandchildren do you have?
Right now it's 19.
19.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
And about 20-some great-grand.
Wow. Can you give me the names of your grandparents on both sides?
Yeah, well, on my mother's side, her name was Georgia Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we called, used to be, but they changed it later on to Georgia Houston. My mother, now, and my granddaddy was, in Vernon was Ed.
Okay.
Same name, mine, James Edward.
Okay.
And I had an uncle named James Edward. And, well, we had a family reunion in Atlanta. And it was 50 or 60 James Edward Brown
Wow.
in our family reunion.
Really?
So that's just a common name for us because a lot of people named the child after my granddad.
Mm-hmm.
His name was James Edward.
Okay.
Mm.
When did you move to Panama City?
1952.
What brought you here?
Yeah. Huh?
What brought you to Panama City?
Well, I left Vernon and went to Bluntstown.
Mm-hmm.
I was raised in Bluntstown from the time I was 8 years old until I was 18.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go and come because I had, right there on 10th Street, there was 3 houses in a row. There was Aunt Jane, Aunt Catherine, and Aunt Mary.
Mm-hmm.
All 3 of them. Well, I was always come in and out ever since 42.
Okay.
See?
As a young black man during that time, what kind of work did you do? And what kind of work did you do to raise your family?
Well, some everything.
Mm-hmm.
When I was, I think I was 15, I got a job at the shipyard building ships, helped building ships. And when I left there,
What did you do at the shipyard specifically?
hold a fire, not a fire, what you call them, in case of a fire.
Uh-huh. Okay.
You know, you can, yeah, that's what I did at the shipyard.
Okay.
And after the shipyard, I went to tender. You ever heard of Jack Orange?
No, sir. I don't
Oh,
think so.
Well, where the Civic Center at now, the Civic Center was built as a skating rink.
Mm-hmm.
We had a doctor here named Dr. Daniel. Well, he built that building. So did he build, see, all the community of the black used to live on 6th Street.
Mm-hmm.
That was the town.
Mm-hmm.
All the barber shops, the businesses, and everything. See them big oak trees right behind, what they call it, grocer's outlet?
Yes.
Well, that right there was all the business.
Okay.
It wasn't start coming over here now until Tenderfields start building.
Mm-hmm.
See, first Tenderfield was where Bay Medical is.
Tyndall Air Force Base?
Yeah.
It was where Bay Medical is now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this movie star, Clark Gable, you ever heard of him?
Familiar
But he
with
used to live in the cold.
Really?
Yeah, and I worked on the house that he used to live in.
How about that?
Yeah.